Okay, for today we have an incredibly impressive looking problem for an algebra class. Look at all that we have done so far. We have distributed out, we got all these terms, we added some together, and now we're at the place where we were yesterday where we got variables on both sides. Do you remember what to do when you got variables on both sides? I do. Do you? Subtract the smaller one is correct. Which of the two is smaller, 4n or n? N. It's like 1n, right? So I'm going to take away an n. You subtract it. I'm going to take away 1n to make it really clear. And those cancel, and I just have 3 left. Why don't you finish it from there and see if you can get the right answer. This is a really impressive problem. Got it? All right. Nice job. Didn't actually get it right, but do you feel better now? 3n plus 10 equals 3. Then you subtracted 10, and you get negative 7, unlike some people. Then, final answer, divide by 3, n equals negative 7 over 3 is good enough. You don't have to always come out with a nice number. In fact, I, on purpose, make sure you don't usually come out with like 2. Because then people think they get it wrong if it ever comes out to a fraction. All right. So, that was a big, scary problem. And it just had lots of steps. It just had a lot of little bites to finish it off. All right, I'm going to give you another one like that. Everybody try this one. You do not have to write the original problem. You can take the original problem, do the first step, and then write that down. Okay, it'll save you a little bit of time. 8 parentheses n minus 1 plus 2 parentheses n plus 1 equals 4n plus 3. All you have to do is a bunch of distributing. Then you combine things that are alike. Then you'll have variables on both sides. You subtract the smaller one. All right, it's got a whole bunch of steps, but I think you're ready for this. We've been stepping up to this each day, just a little bit, more challenging. I'll pause while you try that one. All right, if you were confused, here's how you should start. 8 times n is 8n. 8 times the negative 1 is negative 8. Did anybody forget the negative? No? Awesome. Plus 2 times the n is 2n. 2 times the 1 is 2. And I just copy these down because I can't simplify them anymore. All right, now I've got a whole bunch of things that can get added together. So for instance, this can get added together with that. And I'll circle some. That can get added together with that. Check yourself so far, see if you're doing it right. Question? All right. So when, do you mean that these two numbers going together or these two numbers? The blue ones or the Okay. Here's how you know you can't put these together. This one's got n's on it.
No, I know that like you can't add those two, but how, like I'm talking about the minus sign and the plus sign. Like how do you know that that minus sign isn't
like this minus sign right here? Yeah. Okay.
Like how do you know subtract 8?
Okay. All right. So this is a positive 8. Would you agree with that? Would you agree that that is a negative 1? I know people don't like to think of that as a minus, but it's also a negative, right? So it's a negative 1. When you take positive 8 and negative 1 and you multiply them, because that's what this means in front here, is I'm multiplying. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. Now, if you want to, anytime there's a minus, it's the same as a plus minus. If it makes you feel any better, you can put in a plus there. plus a negative 8 is the exact same thing as minus 8. So this has to be negative because we were doing 8 times negative 1 makes negative 8. But you can think of that as plus a negative 8 or minus 8, and it means the same thing. The main thing is that you know what team it's on. It's good that you do. You know it's on the negative team. So when this negative 8 goes with this positive 2, the negative team wins. It's got more players. So you end up with negative 6. These two together, 10n. 4n plus 3. I'm going to pause for a second right there to go around and check and see if you're getting these. All right. So I saw most people were at this place, which is great. Now I got variables on both sides. You know which one to get rid of yet? The 4. So I'm going to get rid of it by doing minus 4n. Minus 4n. Because that's going to get rid of it. 4n minus 4n makes it disappear. Then this becomes 6n minus 6 equals 3. Add 6 to both sides. 6n equals 9. Divide by 6. 9 divided by 6. I'll show my divide by 6 like this. 9, 6. Okay. How many of you feel like you are understanding what I'm doing here? Do you feel like you're understanding it? Have you gotten the last couple right? All right, let's do one together off the homework. I'm going to pause for a second. I'll hand out the homework. Okay, here we go. The green one. This one is, the problems felt a little too aggressive for yesterday. That's why I made up that other worksheet. But today I think you're ready. So on number 1, it says 2 plus 3x is equal to 2 times x plus 2. I would go through and do all the distributing first. You see the distributing part with the parenthesis there? Go ahead, distribute that out and see what you get. Did you get 2x plus 4? Then you bring the other part down. Now, which did I say to get rid of? If you had to go lift a giant rock out of your yard, would you take the bigger one or the smaller one? Smaller one. Smaller one's a lot easier to handle. And that's, honestly, that's the way you should do it in math too. You take the smaller one out. This one's smaller, I take it out. I'll leave the other one. And actually doing it that way means you'll never have a negative variable, which is really handy. These canceled. This one confuses people sometimes because they don't know whether they should write 1x or x. What's more proper? Just x. Yep. And this 2 doesn't have anything to go with it, so it just goes straight down. And then, last step, this one ought to be like easy peasy for you nowadays. And there you go. X equals 2. Anybody get to 2 before I got to 2? All right, a couple people. Good. All right, that was number 1. Now, given today is kind of a review day of yesterday, instead of going on and on and on with a whole bunch of problems for you, like to do with me, I'm just going to give you this worksheet and give you the whole rest of the time to work on it. Okay? So, you got a lot of time to work. And we're going to come around and ask if you need help, point out problems and stuff. But you just have to finish up the green worksheet. That's all we have for you for today.